Amazing to see you all here. This is my first show, so bear with me. Really looking forward to doing this. I've got a guest who's a Newcastle fan and knows a lot about football. We talk a lot about football, and I thought I'd get him on my first show. It's good to have you here. I've just been trying to figure out how to actually do the video, but it works okay, and it looks all right on the screen. I'm actually a music producer and a DJ, and I should be really good with all of this technology, but I'm not very good with the video editing stuff. But I think we're there. Whoever's in the chat, big up. I'm just going to let him in shortly when he joins. But over the last, I would say, year or so, I've become really engorged in football and Liverpool in general. And over the last couple of months, there's been this internal argument that I'm having with myself about Liverpool Football Club, and I'm sure everybody else has been experiencing this as well. And we all are watching all of these Liverpool channels constantly. I see the same faces, the same names everywhere, and it's because we care, and it's because we want more from our football club and the people that run it. And you know, I'm a massive fan for all of the big channels that have been around, and I've been subscribed to a lot of them, but they are all mouthpieces for FSG and Klopp now, and I've unsubscribed to a lot of them because they don't really talk about what people really need to talk about. And you know, it's what we see with our eyes that we should be talking about, and I think that's what's really important. You know, at the end of the day, football either makes your week or ruins your week. And if you work in a big business, in a big company with hundreds of people on the floor or in the offices, if your team doesn't play well, then you're getting pelters for the next week. And that's kind of how it goes. It was like that for me for years. And there was a lot of Liverpool fans who worked in the company. There was a lot of Man United fans, a lot of Arsenal fans. My actual company owner was the president of Chelsea FC for the company that I used to work for. So, you know, I felt it if Liverpool didn't do well. And when I worked there was when we had Brendan Rodgers. So you can only imagine some of the crap that I got on a daily basis, especially when Rodgers was in his last year, and especially when Rodgers was doing his TV show. Do you remember that? Remember that with the 3 envelopes? I'm just gonna try and get my guest in. I'm gonna put the StreamYard link in the chat. If anyone wants to jump on and have a chat, you're more than welcome. You know, this really is a channel that I want everybody to be involved in if they want to be involved. You know, that's absolutely fine. Just please be aware of just cursing and also posting any links that are inappropriate, because I obviously don't want that on my channel. Why would I? And big up Redbird, and also big up Amirali and LV FC TV. Big up everyone. I thought I'd be talking to myself for the next hour, but it's good to have people in there that are already in the chat. What I will do though is I will put the YouTube link in the group and see if we can get some more people. Are you there? You are.
Yeah, I was having issues with my camera and I had to use a different browser and stuff.
Yeah, I had issues as well because I didn't click on the actual camera, so it was just a black screen.
Right. Yeah, we're back up and running now anyway. But yeah,
I can see the Newcastle shirt.
Yeah, mate. Do you know what? I could hear the beginning of your intro, but I logged out by then. I only heard about.
Yeah, it's basically me just going, hello.
Right. I thought you were going right into it and talking about Klopp and Liverpool and stuff.
I didn't really want to go straight into that. I was really talking about basically just being a fan and over the last couple of years how I've become more I don't know, absorbed. Just it's kind of I'm obsessed with Liverpool and football, and I mean you're probably loving it right now, aren't you?
Mate, put it this way, I'm on cloud nine, mate. Like we're getting injuries, but our squad we're actually starting to look like we've got some depth. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What I'd like to know actually is I don't think I've ever asked you, how did you become a Newcastle fan?
So it was in the.
I might have asked you when I was drunk, but
no. So basically, it was in like the early 90s. It was when we just had it was the season after we got promoted from the old first division, right, or the old second division, basically. We actually in our first season we came third. In the old first division, which is now the Premier League, came third. It was Man U, Blackburn, then us. So I looked at it and I thought, wow, that's an achievement for a team to come third in their first season of being in the top division. And just took it from there really. So it was about a season or half a season before we sold Andy Cole to United. And so I got to see a bit of him at Newcastle, and then we went through the whole 9-5, 9-6 era, where we had like the 4-3s of you guys and all that. So yeah, it was really
Andy Cole was a monster.
Literally, it was that transition from Andy Cole going to United and then us signing Ferdinand Ginola and all that, and then Gillespie and all that. Because we got Keith Gillespie in exchange for Andy Cole and some money.
Keith Gillespie, eh?
Yeah.
He actually did all right for you, didn't he?
Yeah. That 3-2 against Barca, he got the assists for two of the assists for Aspria's goal.
Mate, that
the left back.
Some of the games that Newcastle had were incredible in Europe. I remember some of them actually now. It's starting to it's starting to ring a bell a bit. What was that game that was at Newcastle? That was at Newcastle's ground, and it was like, was it like 4-4 or 3-3? Oh no, it was a higher score than that. Was it against Barcelona with Asprilla?
No, we beat them 3-2. So that 3-2 where Gillespie assisted.
Was that at St James?
We were like 2-0 up at half time. Then Asprilla scored early in the second half. So they were flying. We were looking like we were going to win 4-5-0. And then they got a couple back. It was the days they had like Figo, they had Luis Enrique.
Yeah.
They had Rivaldo was in the team. They actually had some ballers. So this wasn't a Mickey Mouse Barcelona team there. But this is where my grudges with you lot started to come in, right? Because Keegan resigned and then Kenny Dalglish came in, right? And he obviously they were rivals from back in the Liverpool days, whatever. You can say Dalglish eclipsed him with what he achieved with the club. But he went there with the ego of, right, I don't want to just build success on what Keegan's built. I want to build my own team. And maybe he had that Liverpool rivalry in the back of his head. So he basically got rid of Ferdinand, Ginola, Asprilla. He just got rid of all our like entertainers era players, and then we signed Dad's players. Mate, there was that summer, the following summer, we signed Dad's Army, mate. I was reading an article about it a couple of weeks ago. Barnes, Ian Rush, Stuart Pearce, literally, they were all well over 30.
I was going to say that was when he got Barnes in, wasn't it? Yeah.
Mate, I think Stuart Pearce was like 34, 35 when we signed him, mate.
I'm pretty sure if Dalglish could have put his boots on, he probably would have had a game.
Mate, that's what I'm saying. He broke up that team out of ego because he didn't want, obviously, everyone to say, "Oh, that was Keegan's team," and you know what I mean. But
Yeah, that's a good
there
point.
you go. Yeah,
That's a really good point.
yeah.
What's the best game you've seen then?
Mate, we can go
I mean,
top
the
five,
Barca
but
game was pretty amazing, and the Liverpool games were pretty amazing as well. But
mate, the best game I can give you like top five. But if you want games that come to mind, the 4-4 against Arsenal.
I was going to say that. I
Yeah,
was going to
that
say
was
the
an
Arsenal
amazing
game.
mate. 4-0 down.
Yeah, that was
That
incredible.
was amazing, mate.
That-
Joey Barton had some gamesmanship. He got Diaby sent off, and then he scored 2 penalties. It was a crazy game, mate. And then check Tiote last minute. Oh my god.
We had some crazy games with Arsenal as well. Do you remember the Avisham game at Anfield?
Oh yeah. Arshavin scored 4.
Yeah, we've had some crazy games with Arsenal.
And just to go back to that game we had with Arsenal, that 4-4, that was actually our first season because we just got relegated for the first time. That was our first season back in the league.
So do you think that's the reason why Newcastle dropped out because of that? And also another question as well. I've never really asked you this one either. Why do you think that Keegan didn't win the league in the end? Because you were flying. You were top of the league by at Christmas by was it like 12 points or something stupid?
Mate, he was just too young and inexperienced a manager. Obviously, he got us promoted from the old second division. But if you hear now, I've even heard like Ginola and the likes of it talk about it, and they said, look, if we had a more experienced manager, someone with a cooler, wiser head, we would have definitely won the league. So, yeah, it was just down to Keegan and his inexperience. But you were going to make a point before that, and I thought it didn't sound like it was going to make sense what you were going to say. Because you said you were going to ask me about something.
I don't know now.
Okay. But yeah.
No. No, it was the best. It was the best game one. It was the best game that you've seen, but you kind of covered that. Did you ever watch Alan Shearer play in real life at a match?
Yeah, I watched plenty of his games, but he had loads of games where he scored loads of goals. But there was the 8-0 game where we beat Sheffield Wednesday, 8-0 first day of the season. 8-0, mate. I think Shearer scored like 5.
So basically, you kind of just wanted to support a team, didn't you? And you got on board with Newcastle. Is that right? It's not from like your father or any family.
No. I just picked my own team because obviously I live in Croydon, like South London. My brother was Crystal Palace. I could have easily jumped on that bandwagon, but
where were they at the time?
I just went more independent, really, and chose my own team.
Where were Palace at the time? Then did you ever go to any of their games like back then?
Not when I was super young. Not in primary school. No.
Okay.
No, I didn't go to Palace games, but yeah, obviously I go to Sellers Park now. I live quite close, like a stone throw away. But
I'm surprised you didn't actually try. I'm surprised you actually didn't try football because you were a good footballer.
No, I played a few times. I used to play like Sunday league, but obviously just because of work commitments and that. There was even a time where I was playing Saturday league and Sunday league. I had 2 teams at one point, and I was playing 2 days in a row, mate. Yeah, my fitness was peak at one point. Like I was doing really well, man.
Yeah, I got into football when I was at school, but I would say really the only reason the only reason I probably got picked a lot is because my mum used to drive a lot of the team in the car. So I think I was just the mascot.
Was it 11 aside?
That's the only reason I had a few games.
Was it 11 aside?
Yeah. I came on as a sub because my mum drove a load of the team there in the car.
Okay. Cool. Fair enough. By the way,
that was down in Otterspool Park, and that was on the Liverpool waterfront. And do you remember how hard the footballs were back then when you were at school? It was like a brown Casey.
The red ones as well. The red ones.
You never wanted to get hit by that, especially on a Sunday morning.
Oh, mate, believe me. You know what? Before it skips my mind. There's a question I wanted to ask you as well, actually. So, what was the first Liverpool game you went to watch live?
Oh God. So the first ever Liverpool game I went to watch was we played. It was actually away at Man City,
Oh, right.
Yeah, and it was, oh God, who was playing for Man City then?
Who'd you go with?
So I used to so I was friends with like a load of kids when I was younger, and I used to go with two boys and their dad, and he used to take them to away games and home games, and I used to go with him like every like
Did
couple of
they
weeks. So I was
did they
kind of
drive?
in I was kind of with them. I never went
Did
with
they
my
drive or get
family.
trained?
Sorry.
Okay. Did
So
they
I was
drive or
kind of
get
in their
trained?
care. Used to drive,
Okay,
and
yeah, that's nice and
I was
convenient.
in their care really, and then obviously when I was old enough, then I used to go myself with
Mhm.
some of my friends, and
Right.
so yeah, I went to Man City away, um, with a couple of the kids. I think I think I was 11, maybe 12 at the
Mhm.
time, um, and that was when Man City were like. I think it was like an FA Cup game, and that was when Man
Wow.
City were in the third or second division, I think,
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
and we were in the first division back then. This is how long ago it was. Like I'm
Wow.
45, like so. But
Yeah,
yeah,
fair enough.
but like if you want to ask me like the best game I've ever seen, I can definitely tell you that.
One other
Um,
thing, yeah, I'll answer that in a sec. One other thing before the question slips my mind. So was there that season under Gerard Houllier where how many trophies did you win under Gerard Houllier
I think we won four in the end.
in one season?
Yeah, I think we won the treble, so we won the so it was the UEFA, the FA Cup, it might have been the Coca-Cola Cup back then, or Worthingtons or something like that. And then I think we won the Super Cup as well, like because you play that as well
Yeah,
when
I
you
remember
win.
that. I think I remember that. I remember that
So I think
European.
it might have been four trophies in a whole calendar year. I don't think
Right,
it was in a season, but it was in a whole calendar year, I think.
right. And
I remember watching the Alves game. Do you remember that? Remember that game?
no, no, no,
It was like
no.
5-all.
Wow.
It was like 5-all. It went to like extra time. I think oh God, didn't we have like oh, it wasn't Morientes, it was some Dutch player that we had.
What position?
Like Jordi Cruyff.
Jordi Cruyff. He was at Man United. Did he play for Liverpool as well? I remember him being at Man United.
I think Jordi Cruyff scored for Alves
Oh, Alves. Okay, okay.
in extra time. And I think we won it in extra time. I think we won it like on we might have been penalties or golden goal. You know what? I
Right.
really need to look at that because that was a game and a half. I remember watching it on a little tiny TV when I was in the army.
Okay.
On like a I was on like a I think it was like basic training or second level training, and we were away somewhere, and someone had a little TV, little portable TV with them,
What
and
needed
there was a
batteries?
load of
Yeah.
us all sat watching it on this little TV.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good.
And that
That's
was the
good.
5-all. That was the 5-all, which obviously was the last trophy that we won because we won all the
Right.
others. But that
Okay.
was
So
crazy. That was when we had like crazy finals. I think that was one of the finals. No, the Rafa final was the Gerrard Screamer. That was in Wales. I never went to it. I only went to one final with Liverpool. No, I went to two finals because my old CEO of the company I used to work for, he was the president of Chelsea Football Club. So whenever
well,
Chelsea played Liverpool,
Ken
right?
Bates. Ken Bates was the president, or
No, he was like the supporters president.
right. I get you. Right. Okay.
And whenever Liverpool played Chelsea, I used to just say like, "Have you got any tickets?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, yeah,"
Right.
and he'd give me a ticket, and
Mhm.
and we played Chelsea twice in a cup final, and he got me tickets twice, and we got beat twice.
Did These things
That
happen,
was
mate.
when Drogba. That was when they had Drogba, like so.
Mate, I saw us lose back-to-back FA Cup finals, man. We lost against United and then Arsenal 97, 98, and then 98, 99. Back-to-back finals, mate. Heartbreaking. I'm just glad we're getting to finals now. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's talk about the league, like what's going on.
Yeah. No, I wanted to ask you that because I'd never asked you that, and I just thought, well, yeah, now's the time to ask you that question.
What
really, but then we kind of just
agenda?
digress. Okay, so
let's start with a Liverpool topic or Newcastle topic. We'll switch.
I want to ask a couple of Newcastle topics really because
I about one club and then we'll switch to the other.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely fine. With the Newcastle thing, do you think it's the owners that have got you where you are, or your actual manager? Because you haven't spent that much.
Well,
really,
if you think about it, what I'd say it's a combination of both, because you can't not say it's the owners because they're the ones who put their money up. Okay. Last January we did spend quite a bit. We spent like 45 mil on Bruno. Then we got Dan Burn, Trippier. So we did spend quite a bit. Okay. Obviously we spent 63 mil on Isak in summer. Okay. So yeah, we spent, since the owners have come in, we've spent over 100 mil. So maybe even close to 150. I'm not sure. Maybe 125. But we have spent quite a bit. Okay.
I mean, I know. Obviously, your last owner was just hated, but he did spend 40 million on Joelinton. Like he did put his hand in his pocket every now and again.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah, that's true. But that's a fair.
I'm not being devil's advocate. Honestly, he was a terrible owner.
But you had so many other windows where our net spend was 1 mil, 2 mil. We've had summers where the year where we came fifth, right, after the second season after we got promoted, we bought like one player in summer. That's it. And we knew we had Europe the next season. Like, trust me, there's been 40 mil Joelinton is nothing, mate.
Was that Allardyce or Rafa when you came fifth?
It's Pardew.
Pardew, bloody hell,
yeah.
Man.
Because it was the year.
You finished in some good positions. Like,
you know what? It's the season. It was the season that we sold Jose Enrique to you that summer, and then the January before that, you lot bought Andy Carroll from us.
God, you made some money off us.
Yeah, that was a good deal for us, mate. Good deal.
And to be fair, that probably paid for Joelinton.
Yeah, but as I said, he spent 40 mil, but it was more of a ploy because he'd saved so much money on previous windows. He knew he could afford that. But anyway, done with the Ashley thing. Ashley's in the past now.
I think it's really interesting as well because a lot of people bring Newcastle up as like, oh, they've got oil-rich owners, they're just going to buy the world. And I'm thinking they've actually been really shrewd and they've actually done things really well. So they're not going to break FFP. They're not using oil cash, if you ask me, to a certain extent. Like, look, you're using Premier League revenue. You're using like the money that you probably would get for certain things, and you've just had loads of new sponsorship as well. So you probably are doing things really the right way, and the fans are just flooding in. Like, so
definitely.
So for me, that argument's not there yet. Like maybe next year you might go and like spend God knows how much on whoever, but for me. No, I mean Isak was a big signing, but I don't actually think you paid that full amount straight up. Who'd you buy from Valencia or someone like that?
Either way, we're going to pay it though.
You're going to pay it. Yeah, but there's probably loads of add-ons and all sorts involved in that.
Yeah, but it might be 63 mil with add-ons. I don't know if the fees 45 mil, whatever, etc. But no, obviously, I think. What we've done is quite smart. We've built from the back, so we bought defenders. We bought in a right back, Trippier, Premier League experience. We've got Sven Botman, who's now in the Dutch team.
What a player he is, mate! What a player!
We bought Matt Target. Obviously, he's had a bad season.
Dan Burn's been brilliant for you, by the way.
Dan Burn's filling in at left back, and that's not even his actual position.
I know.
Next season, we need a left back. We need a left back.
I was on a show like a couple of days ago, talking about like we were doing like an England thing, and a lot of people were saying like they wanted your manager as the England manager, like he would have been a brilliant England manager, and then one of the guys said like he he never had money to spend. So it was always a case of, if he can do this with Bournemouth, what could he do with a really good team who've got money? And there you go. The rewards are being reaped now with Newcastle.
Yeah, the thing is, look, Eddie Howe is right up there. What will make me really pleased for him is if we won a trophy, because what he's done since he's come in, saving us from relegation. Forget about being third in the league, just saving us from relegation. From January onwards, we're basically, stats-wise, we're one of the best performing teams in the league. What he's done, he deserves to be talked about amongst, even if it's not now, in the next 3 or so years. His name deserves to be around the conversation with elite managers. I'm telling you, Eddie Howe's going places, mate. I want him to win a trophy, obviously for the club, but like his profile as a good manager deserves to be out there because he's earned it. If you listen to his press conferences, he's never too eccentric. Everything he says is very measured. He's calm. I mean, he never sounds like he's under pressure or influenced to behave a certain way in the media. I mean, you can tell his relationship. You can tell his relationship with the owners is very fluent as well.
Yeah. Do you think he probably could have done better with that cup final though? Right.
I think it was a cagey one for us, to be honest.
I felt like St. Maximin was not a player that should have been used in that game. Not right away. Like, I think he went a bit too attacking. Like,
yeah, we didn't turn up that game.
He should have been a bit more pragmatic. I really think he should have been a bit more pragmatic for that because Man United, they don't really play like attacking football themselves. They kind of they soak up the pressure and then they just pump the ball up to Rashford pretty much. And every now and again they're gonna get a goal off a set piece or a corner, or because they've got a guy with a wand in oh god, what's his name? Denmark guy.
Oh, Ericsson. Yeah, he's just come back from injury, hasn't he?
Yeah, but they got him who's got a wand of a foot, and Casemiro, yeah. Anyway,
yeah, man.
I digress. But and it's a strange one as well because he'd be in the conversation for manager of the year. He really would, but it's probably going to be Arteta, isn't he?
Especially if they win, yeah. But if Arsenal don't win the league and we come top 4, then
exactly,
definitely Eddie Howe deserves it. 100%.
He definitely does. He definitely does.
Definitely
in the conversation.
Yeah.
So this season, then, how would you sum it up? Is there any kind of areas that you think you've not done too well in, or you could have done better in? Your real, like, as a fan, or is it just all rainbows?
Oh no, not necessarily, not at all. So right now, Almiron's out, but he's back in light training. He was predicted to be out for 6 weeks. It's been about 2 or 3 weeks, but he seems to be ahead of schedule. There's news coming out today that ASM may be out he caught an injury in the last game. There's news that he may be out for 4 to 6 weeks, and this news just came out today.
Who's that?
ASM, St. Maximin. He might be out for 4 to 6 weeks, but that's yet to be confirmed, but that's out today. So in terms of, we've strengthened in January. We've got Gordon on the wings, who comes off the bench. He can do a job. He's still settling in. Jacob Murphy's really stepped up the plate.
Yeah, you like him, don't you?
One of our best performers as of late.
He's a hard worker.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's got we gave him, under Ashley, we gave him, I think towards the end of Bruce, we gave him a 6-year contract, and he's got about 4 years left. So I think he's just one of those players that's going to be just around as a squad player until his contract runs down. I don't think we'll be able to sell him or get the going rate unless we loan him out to someone. Huh?
Can he play both wings?
Yeah, he can. And as I said, fair play to him. He's done a job recently because we've won 5 in a row. He's started most of those games since Almiron has been out. But if we're going to be playing Champions League next year, we do need that step up in quality. And I don't think we'll be able to shift him on because of his whole contract and his value. I don't think there'll be any takers. So I think we're just going to be stuck with him in the squad, and we're just going to have to use him, which is okay. He's a good option off the bench. But if we're going to be getting Champions League, we need really those players who can actually not just be team players, but can just have those moments to, I mean, put a ball on a sixpence and stuff. And he's just not really that kind of
Well, you
guy.
got Trippier.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
once again, in terms of where we'd strengthen, we've got options in those positions now. But to bring, you have to let players go as well, because we've got the likes of Dummett and Richie are probably going to leave this summer.
Have you still got those?
Yeah. Richie's contract's up in summer. He's been coming off the bench.
God, I remember Dummett used to like turn up with a goal every now and again. Him, didn't he? Do you remember years ago?
Yeah, look, Dummett was playing
some crucial goals. He did. I remember.
Dummett played the second half of last season when we went on that sick run. Dummett was playing, if I'm correct. I think I'm right. But it's about bringing in more quality, and obviously we can start talking about transfer targets, kind of players we've been linked with. Whether I think it's just clickbait stories or not. So we've been linked with the likes of Diaby for a while.
Oh, we can talk about that later. Like I'm gonna, I've got a segment that I want to cover for transfers, mate. Definitely. And I've got a lineup builder as well that I want to look at for next year. Like your kind of dream team that you want for Newcastle next year.
Right. Okay.
So we can do that because we're like halfway through now. I was going to do an hour. I mean, you can stay for 2 if you want.
Let's assess it because I need to put some food in, man. I'm quite hungry. So let's when we get to like close to 9 o'clock, Willis.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. So I mean I don't want to go on a rant about us about Liverpool, but mate, feel free to ask me some questions and I'll give you some honest answers.
Okay, all right. So let me try and ask some questions of.
Well, I can tell you the best Liverpool game I've ever been to, like actually physically been to, and it was we drew against Man United 3-3, and Neil Ruddock scored the equaliser in the 96th minute.
Oh wow!
And Stan Collymore and Nigel Clough scored the other 2 goals, and Dennis Irwin scored a free kick in like the 3rd minute,
right? And
Dennis Irwin scored another goal,
okay.
And then Lee Sharp scored a goal, and we were 3-0 down in like 27 minutes, and we came back to equalise 3-3. That was the best game I've ever been to, and that was in the Kop, and that was incredible. Like that was
nice. Do you remember what row you were roughly on?
No, but I ended up about 6 rows further forward when Ruddock scored.
Wow. Okay. By the way, what year? You see that kit you're wearing? What year was that? Was that the
this was 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But this was a really nice kit. Like it's a really nice kit. It's the kind of kit that you could probably wear to go out, have a beer. But yeah, we got. I don't think we're going to go cream again for a while.
Right. Is that a second or third kit?
This was second.
Right.
Second kit. This was the away kit.
Right. Yeah. This one I'm wearing. This is our third kit. But do you know what? It came out on the news.
Newcastle got some nice kits.
Yeah, this is a third kit. Do you know what? It came out on the news today. Actually, the Premier League have agreed from next season they're going to stop gambling sponsors on shirts.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, the news is out today. So no more Betway and all that fun. So yeah.
So it looks like they could be regulating now, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
Go on then. Go on then. What do you want to ask me?
Right. Okay. Right. Yeah. I'd like to ask, basically, how you think you lot are gonna be looking for next season in terms of is Klopp staying? What kind of players do you think you're linked with? Who do you think you're gonna get?
Okay, so
how do you look at the competition? Like obviously next season is going to be difficult. Like,
I mean, okay, I'll give you my totally honest opinion. If we'd have said goodbye to a load of players at the end of last season who should have gone, we nearly won the quadruple. You've done so much for us. Thanks for everything. You've won trophies. You're going to leave as legends. Don't let the door hit you on the backside. But we're going to move you on because we have to. We have to progress. We have to keep on improving. And you're too old now and you haven't got the legs to do what we need you to do, which we can clearly see in so many. So the list should have been Matip, Adrian, Henderson, Keita, Ox, Bobby. There's a big list of players that should have all been sold at the end of last season. After we missed out on the quad, it should have all been moved on. And it should have been a case of, right, let's go again. And this season should have been the transition season. And if anyone's saying it's transition now, it's not, because nothing's changed. It's only a transition when you change everything and you change like formations and you change all the main players. All we did was sold Mane. He was the only first team player. He was the only first team player we got rid of, was Mane. And that's because he wanted to go. So it was a case of, that was the opportunity to go, right, you're going to leave as heroes. You're going to leave as legends. Bye. We move on. Okay, we didn't do that. So now we have a bloated squad, a leggy squad, players that aren't going to get sold because no one wants them. And the whole season has been a combination of, like, it's like a misfiring car. You know, you like start it up, driving along, and you're going fine, and then it just goes boom, 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 boom. And then you try and start it again, and you move like 2 foot, and then it goes again. And that's what it's like. And we're having that all season, where every now and again we have a good result. Like, we play well, one game, and then you think, oh, that's it, we're going to go on a 3-game run. We're going to go on a run. And then we get beat by Bournemouth, or we get beat by Brentford, or we get beat by Wolves. You know what I mean? And it keeps on knocking everything and everyone's confidence. And because these players know they can't do the job that they're supposed to be doing now, they must be sat there thinking, why didn't we go? Why didn't we go? Who's supposed to go? Like we should have gone to the boss. Boss, we want to do this again another year.
Can I say something so in terms of the drop off there, right? You guys are 8th, whatever. You may not finish there, you may finish 5th, 6th, whatever.
10th.
But sorry?
I'm looking the other way, mate. I'm looking 10th.
Oh yeah, but come on, look. You didn't expect to beat United 8-0, but you lot were like we're challenging lane the drop off on aging players. Like, it's only been an extra 6 months so far since the end of last season. It can't just be down to that. And I know there's a lot of people who will just back Klopp no matter what.
It's
I know they'll just back Klopp no matter what.
What it is it's that yard. If you have so many players in a team that can't get to that person because they're not quite fast enough or they're not quite strong enough, and if that yard is right the way across the team, then you've got a team that only 50% of them can do what, you know, can do the system's job.
How
if one or two people aren't working in the system, then the whole system doesn't work. And Klopp's formations and tactics is all about system. Like, if the system doesn't work, if one or two people don't work in the system, the drop off is just unbelievable, and it just looks like it just looks like, my God, these look so bad. Like, it really does.
So basically, are you saying he's got no? Firstly, I asked you a question. How old is Joe Matip?
My God, Joel Matip's 30. I think he's only 32, but he looks like he's 36 now.
And the second question I was going to ask is, so the whole formation. Are you telling me that Klopp doesn't have a plan B? Let's not make this into a Klopp ranting session. Yeah,
right. Okay, you haven't. You okay? I can give you an answer on that. So that's my feeling on the team. Okay, my feeling on the team is they can't do. I mean, Klopp said this at the start of the season. By the way, he said he did say in one of his press conferences, my players aren't able to do what I want them to do. So it's not a case of these players are rubbish. It's I can't get them to do what I want them to do. They can't do it anymore. So if your players can't do what you want them to do anymore, then let them do something that they can do. Like, change things so they can do what you want them to do. So there's no flexibility.
But if he's meant to be a world-class manager, why is he having issues with like rejigging the system and stuff? Like you've got 5 attacking players. You've got 5 players for those 3 positions, right? Are you telling me that you can't come out with
7 at one stage?
Is Diaz still injured?
No, he's back now. But I think he's going to play. I think he might get some minutes against Leeds.
Oh, so he's not fully fit. He's not ready to play 90 minutes.
Yeah, he's fit. He's fit, but he's just not match fit. Like he needs game time.
So you've got Diaz. You got Diaz, Jota, Firmino, Nunes, Salah. Right. You got 5 players for those 3 positions. Surely, out of those 5 players, minus Diaz not being super fit, out of for those 3 positions, you've got 4 players that should be able to do enough damage going forward. So you're basically...
That's the problem. The problem is you're too attack-minded and you haven't got a midfield or a defence at the moment. So you've got a shaky midfield and you've got a defence which is normally used to the midfield helping them. And you've got no attackers that can press anymore because you haven't got Mane and you haven't got a younger Bobby. And
but you've got Nunes and Diaz who are young. Nunes, Diaz, and Jota. They're all under 25. Huh?
They don't press.
Yeah, but they're all under 25. They can do
it. They're not systematic. They're not system-based players. That when you look at Liverpool, yeah. This is a conversation I've wanted to have with you for a while, by the way. Okay, when you look at Liverpool, there are 5 functionalities about Liverpool. Okay, and this is really, really simple. This is how Klopp builds his whole team. The goalkeeper is the outlet. Okay, the goalkeeper starts everything off for Liverpool. He always has. Okay, and the goalkeeper goes to Trent, yeah. Trent goes to Robbo goes to Trent, and then Trent goes to either Salah or Mane or Firmino, and then if the ball comes out, as in it doesn't get to them and it gets headed or it gets cleared,
the midfield press. The
midfield pick it up, and then the midfield then pass it round the outside of the box, and then our defenders press so high up into their team that their team is basically in their own box, and then you play it round, and then it's one of those things where Robbo or Trent goes down the side and plays it in. So many of our goals were scored from the corner flag cross in. So many of our goals were scored from that position. And that's the reason why we don't have any midfielders that score goals, because we never needed the midfielder to score the goals, because most of our goals were scored from either the centre of the box or the corner of the box, which is your highest percentage.
You had your front 3 scoring the goals, the front 3.
Front 3 all the time. And it was never like, we never had goals where it was like, Salah would go on this mazy run from like 30 yards out. It was all precision in the box stuff. Most of the goals were like tap-ins, taking a ball off one of their players while they try to clear it because of that system, which is the goalkeeper, Trent, Robbo, Trent in, or it's the other way around. Robbo, Trent. And that's the reason why Trent was so important. And that's the reason why all the midfielders basically cover Trent.
Put it
Like
this way.
a massive reason for us being so bad is Fabinho and Henderson. Henderson hasn't got legs anymore. And also Henderson, he spends so much time just running around the pitch doing brain dead things, mate. Like you want to see the heat map of the Arsenal game, because Henderson was in the attacking. Henderson was basically in the number 10 position most of the game. Like, and Trent was playing as a DM. Like, Henderson was supposed to be covering for Trent as a right back. Like,
yeah, but
he's
mate,
the right-sided. He was the right-sided midfielder.
No, but listen, obviously, let's not go down a rabbit hole.
No.
That, right? Obviously, we can talk about tactics for time, but like Arsenal are top of the league, man. That's not a bad result. They're still top of the league. It's
not a bad result. But if it takes being,
obviously in the scheme of things, and chasing,
if it takes us going two goals down in the first like 20 minutes,
there you go,
for us to wake up, then there's fundamentally something wrong there. It really is. Like,
is it all right if I also ask? So, in terms of obviously the way things are, look at Chelsea. Chelsea are stuttering. There's no guarantee they're going to be up and running at next season, but they will spend in summer. And even us going forward, even if we come top 4 this year, it's still a hard thing to do, like every year. So, like, you can't say it's all doom and gloom and rule yourselves out. But
no. And that was something I wanted to say as well. Is if we'd have got that right and shifted on a load of deadwood, because let's be honest, it was deadwood, and we've been in this position before when we've had deadwood too long, and that was under Rodgers. Like, we had so many players that were deadwood under Rodgers that we just wouldn't shift. He done the same. He basically done the same things as Klopp's doing now. Really, he's just holding on to players for too long. He was at a stage where, well, I bought him, so I'm keeping him. Like, and the ego got to him, and it's kind of it's looking a little bit deja vu-y to me. But if we'd have done that, I don't think anyone's been that good in the league. I really don't. Like Arsenal's having a good season. Man City are having a bad season for Man City on their standards. Like the league's going to get won under 100 points.
Do you know what? To be honest, we've only just gone on a 5-game winning run, but before that we didn't win for 8 games, and I didn't think we were going to catch United in third. I thought there was a point where about 4 or so weeks ago, people saying United are in the title race.
Nobody's pulling away.
Yeah,
nobody's consistent.
Third, right? We're third, and I didn't expect us to catch United.
Yeah. But nobody's consistent. If we'd have got rid of all that deadwood and then just gone, right, now's our time to spend, and we bought a load of good players. We bought like a Manu Kone, or we went for an Ugarte, or we went for one of the Thuram brothers, or we actually went, you know what, let's go and get Caicedo. Let's get some of these players in. Then all we needed was like 2 or 3. And we'd have took the league. We'd have took the league.
Do you know what? Can we escalate it? Can we just skip straight to the transfers? Because let's talk about that's actually what I was building up to ask you. Because the reason is, in about 15 or so, man, I need to jump off. I need to cook some dinner, man. That's going to take about
that's cool, mate. That's cool.
45 minutes. And if I don't, I'm going to have to go shop and get something to eat.
That's cool.
So the question I wanted to ask you
is... It's great.
Yeah.
Okay,
so what I was building up to ask you was about
transfer your players in then.
Let's just say, all right, okay. So how does this work?
I can do it.
Okay.
I can do it. So who are you? You want Pope in goal, don't you?
Oh yeah. Could you change the formation?
Yeah. I'm just okay. What formation do you want?
4-3-3.
Okay, so you're having Pope, aren't you?
Yeah.
Go on then. I'm all ears. So
right. So
who are you having this? You're having what's his name?
What is this? Is this our team for next
Centre
season?
Yeah, centre backs.
Is this our team for next season?
Yeah, your team for next season.
Okay, Shaw, Botman.
You want to keep Shard as your
Yeah. Mate,
as your
Shaw's been one
main
of the
centre
best.
back next year.
Mate, Shaw's been one of the best centre backs in the league this season, mate.
How old's he
Along
going to
with
be
Botman.
next year, though?
Yeah, put him in, mate.
32, 33?
No, Shaw is in like 30.
Okay.
He's not even 31 yet.
Oh, is he?
He's not even 31 yet. It's SCHAR. I think he's just turned 30. He's not even 31 yet.
Is he? Okay.
Mhm.
I didn't know that. Do they play that
mate.
side? Did you, don't they?
Yeah, leave it at that. We can get a good 2 seasons out of him. Right back, we're going to stay with Trippier. This is just the starting 11. We're not doing the squad, right? So,
no, we'll just do the starting 11.
Okay, now left back is what we're looking for. We need a new left back. In terms of, because Dan Burn plays there, but like he's by trade a centre back, and I've seen him in. We've talked about it on groups. Like he does get found wanting here and there. Matt Target has had an up and down season with injuries. So
have you actually signed him, or was he on loan?
Yeah, we signed him. The last game he played was against Chelsea in December, but because of one thing about Eddie Howe is that he doesn't like to change the defense, and he was on record recently talking about a lot of defenders are a victim of not getting in the team because our defense is doing so well. And look at our defensive record. I wouldn't change the defense.
No way.
But for next season,
you don't change something that's not broken.
Yeah, but for next season, we need a left back. Like Dan Burn is a centre back by trade, and he does a job there, but that's not his primary.
Have you been targeted with any then, or linked? I mean, I know you've been linked with loads of midfielders and also wingers.
There's a left back at Leverkusen, some young guy. Forgotten his name. I need to.
Can I look
check.
at
I think
teams
it's.
on it?
Huh?
Can I look at teams on here?
I'm gonna. Yeah, there's a left back. Okay, right. So
look at Leverkusen.
Yeah, scroll down. There's a left
back.
Any
of these?
Oh, it doesn't show the position though.
Is it him?
No, his name is Maximilian something. I'm gonna Google it and check. I'm gonna type in Leverkusen left back Newcastle because I know we've been linked with him.
God, he must be young then.
Leverkusen left back. Mitchell Bakker. He's meant to be.
Bakker.
Yeah.
Oh, he used to play for PSG.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, he used to play for PSG, mate.
Yeah, we were linked with him in January, but we got Matt Target instead.
Him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Dutch international, isn't he?
Yeah, last year during it. Yeah. It might be Dutch or German. I'm not sure.
He's Dutch.
Right. Centre mids. First name on the team sheet is Bruno. Joe Linton.
He's unbelievable.
He's probably the best, the most improved player in the league, mate, by far. He's going to be playing for Brazil soon.
Has he not got caps already?
No, he's never been capped.
That's ridiculous.
He'll definitely be playing for Brazil soon. The Brazil manager's even been talking about him as well.
I mean, he's got Fab's place now.
Huh?
He'll be in for Fab's place now.
Yeah, especially the way you lot are. Yeah, probably. And centre mid, I'm going to go for James Maddison.
Ooh.
Although he's on a poor run of form, like
he's a quality player. Does he play the other side?
Yeah, play him there. And the thing is, he can even play in the front three as well.
Does he play that side though?
No, leave him there.
Okay. Yeah, you can play here and here.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you leaving Wilson up front?
No, we're going Isak.
Oh
no, let's. We're gonna say leave the striker till last, but yeah, okay. Left mid, left wing. Okay, this is where there's a lot of talk right now. So obviously we signed Gordon in summer, but he's still young, he's still developing, and it's a squad game. So if we're going to be in Europe, he's definitely going to play. I didn't say Diaby's our number one target, but yeah, if we can get him for 50, 60 mil, definitely go for it. So yeah,
Ashworth's been scouting him, mate, personally,
all right.
and you know he normally gets his man.
And Leverkusen, they're in the Champions League this season. They're in the Europa now. They're actually playing tonight, I think, in the Europa. But in fact, yeah, I'm going to watch him play tonight. He's probably already started.
I mean, whether you get him or not, because he's playing for Xabi Alonso now, mate.
Yeah. So what are you trying to say then? He's going to try and fast track into
Well,
Liverpool?
Xabi Alonso, it'd be hard for him to leave him.
Yeah, but just look. If you look to the league table, Leverkusen are like 9th or 10th. They're not getting Champions League next year.
But they've got some of the best form in the world right now.
What, Leverkusen?
Yeah, they've won like 12 games on the trot or something.
Leverkusen, are you sure, mate?
Yeah.
I'm going to double check that because last time I checked Leverkusen, they were like mid-table in the league.
Hang on. Xabi Alonso manages Leverkusen now, doesn't he?
No, hold on.
It's not Mönchengladbach, is it?
No, it's definitely Leverkusen. I think you're
right. They're on some ridiculous form. Like they beat Bayern Munich as well, I think.
Okay, all right. So maybe I'm going to check the league table.
You'll probably get him though. You'll probably get him.
Oh no, they're sixth. They're sixth. They've won their last.
Yeah, he's took them from like I can't remember where they were, like 15th or something like that.
Right. So
so say you get Diaby, who's an absolute machine.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you having on that side? Are you keeping Almer on?
I'm going to stick with Almer on. Yeah.
You really keeping him?
Yeah, definitely, mate. He's our top scorer this season, though.
It's a one-season wonder.
Let's see. But he's been consistent.
What do you mean? Let's see. You have done for about 5 years. You have seen for about 5 years,
mate. Look. But I'm keeping him in the starting lineup. Obviously, it's a squad game, and we're going to rotate, especially with Europe. But if we're going for continuity, fluidity,
I mean, he works hard. I'll give him that.
And he scores goals, mate. Just give it to him, mate. Just give it to him, mate.
Mate, you're oil rich, mate. You're going to be buying some monsters.
Yeah, no, do you know what? Listen, yeah. That's why we're going to talk about transfers and what players have been linked with, because we're still not guaranteed Champions League yet. It's not a guarantee. So our transfer targets, we've got different lists. We've got a list for if we get Champions League, and then we've got a target list for if we get Europa League. Haven't you heard about us being linked with the likes of Scott McTominay, players like that? Even Wilfried Zaha.
I think Scott McTominay would be a decent squad player, to be honest.
Yes, but look, it all depends on what competition we qualify for. Yes, we need to buff up the squad, but we also want to improve the starting 11 and get more players on the level of Bruno and Maddison as a start. I mean
that those players that you've just named there. So you've got Bakker, you've got Maddison, and you've got Diaby. That's less than 80 million.
No, it's not.
Hasn't Maddison only got a year left on his contract?
So yes, but in January they turned down a bid. I think we bid like 45 million.
For Maddison.
They turned it down. Now, let's say, for example, now he's worth, I don't know, 30, 35, whatever. Diaby, that's 50, 60 mil. That's 95 mil on those two players. Bakker, I don't know his valuation. Might be 15.
Is he from the same club?
Yeah.
So you'll be taking their left side.
yeah, and they've got money, so they're going to have top dollar to reinvest. They can probably buy about 4 players.
I've heard. I mean, I might actually put money on it, to be honest. But I've heard that you're getting the Thuram brothers and Diaby.
Yeah. So Marcus Thuram apparently is out of contract. I'm not sure.
And Keprian. I've heard you're getting both of those.
I've heard
that's
that
going to be the project.
Thuram, I think Marcus Thuram's out of contract, so that is a deal that makes sense.
He's a striker, isn't he?
He can play wide as well.
Yeah. So Thuram is an option instead of Diaby or Dabi, or however you say his name.
Yeah, we've been linked to
Thuram can also play where Maddison plays, by the way.
Yeah, mate.
And he's also a DM.
Yeah,
and they're all French internationals as well now.
Yeah,
all of them. Even Dabi is.
Yeah, he didn't get picked for the World Cup squad though. I don't think any of them did. I might be wrong. The Thuram.
The World Cup squad is basically frigging PSG in it, like, and Bayern Munich, pretty much the World Cup squad for like Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and PSG. That's pretty much the World Cup squad for France.
Yeah. So that is a starting 11. I'll be happy to see us start the season with.
Mate,
but once again, the only question mark I have is left back. I don't know much. I don't really follow that much of Leverkusen. Now they're on form, yes, but left back, that's open to options. I'm open to see what else is out there.
Isn't it weird that like you've got Trippier as obviously a right back, but he plays left back for England?
Yeah, but not recently, he hasn't though. But
no.
I know on the FIFA formation, it's default. He's a default left back on FIFA.
Yeah, is he? Okay.
Well, he has been anyway. I don't know. Obviously, there's been recent FIFA updates, but yeah, we haven't used the left back. All
right, so we're almost finished anyway, and I haven't actually done a Liverpool one, but we can do that another time. It's fine. But what one for you though? If you could have a dream player in there, just a random dream player that you're not linked with, and just who would you have in that team? Just a worldie of a player that you could buy. Because let's be honest, you probably could now, but yeah.
The thing is, as I said, a lot of our summer transfer strategy depends on whether we get Champions League or not. Because trust me, it's a big difference between getting Champions League and Europa League. For me,
how far ahead are you from Manchester United as well? Though now, how many points ahead?
They won on the weekend. I think we're on the same points because
really?
they won.
Okay.
They beat Everton.
Okay.
Well, I need to double check the league.
Dream player you could just drop in that squad. Who and where?
Who do I have?
And then I'll let you go and eat.
This is okay. So right now you're making me think positions, and I'm also trying to think realistically about like who's available. I'll scrap that.
No. Don't put any realistic. Don't put any thought into it whatsoever. Just I can have a worldie in there where like your most favorite player right now. Plonk him in there because you can have him. Who would it be and where would he fit?
Right. Okay. I would put Gavi from Barcelona in midfield. Gavi from
doable. You can buy him.
I'll take Gavi. Mate, do you know what his release clause must be?
They couldn't. The release clause doesn't count because the league wouldn't register him because Barcelona missed the deadline.
Do you know what?
And they're fighting it in court.
Do you know? I read that a couple months ago, actually. So
yeah, they're fighting it in court.
I read that. But yeah, I'll take Gavi. He's going to be the best player in the world in a few years. Believe me, mate. I'll take Gavi in my midfield.
18. He's 18. Like,
mate, think about how good he's going to be when he's like 21, 22.
The only problem I've got with him is, would it be the same with Jude? So many miles on those legs at such a young age. Like, injuries are going to happen.
Well, a bit like what happened to Michael Owen, isn't it? Too many miles at too young.
Too many miles.
Yeah,
mate, that is a serious midfield.
Yeah. What did you think of my choice of player though, Gavi? Because I thought realistically, who can?
I didn't think you were going to say Gavi.
Yeah.
I thought you might have said Mbappe, someone like that. Just like you just have him, or Saka, or someone like that. You got that space for Almiron, like. Replace him with Saka.
Mate, look, Almiron for me is a cult hero, mate. I've been with lots of Newcastle fans that have changed their opinion on him.
Mate, respect.
This, that. But for me, I've always backed Almiron because don't forget we were playing Bruce Ball, and Bruce wasn't a manager with tactics. So a lot of our players suffered. The likes of Sean Longstaff, they suffered their development. His development basically got stunted under Bruce because Bruce was just not a tactical manager. Okay, now we're seeing the Almiron that we expected to see. Okay. So Almiron for me stays in my starting 11. Obviously, he'll get rotated because we're playing, but for me, I'll be happy to see the starting 11.
No, I respect that. I never expected that. I thought you might have had a few. I thought you might have had a few curveballs in there, but you've stuck with the main squad, mate, and that's respect, and that's probably what your manager will do.
You have to be realistic. Joe Linton and Bruno are going to play. Joe Linton's not starting the season on the bench unless he's injured or something.
He's never injured.
But he's playing, mate. When Joe Linton's fit, he's playing, bro. Simple. Okay, and he can even play in Diaby's position as well. He scored there, in fact, against West Ham. He scored 2 games in a row. And actually, no, the last goal got taken off him as an own goal. But
it was an own goal, wasn't it?
Yeah. But it's a team I'm happy with, mate.
Nice. All right, we'll do Liverpool. We'll do Liverpool another time.
I don't mind. We can do it now quickly.
Oh,
it's up to you.
Hang on. Let me get this screen up. Okay. Right. All right. Well, you know who my goalie is.
And I've got a feeling I've got an idea. I think I know who's going to be in midfield.
I'm not playing that formation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not playing that formation. Okay, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to do my team for next year or my team for till the end of the season?
No, do your team for next year.
Next year. Okay.
But obviously I put Gavi in there I went for just realistic targets as well.
Yeah.
We could get.
Yeah. Okay, so this is my team for next year that I actually think we could get. Okay. Oh, what am I? Okay. Right. Okay, so he needs to be over there. Hang on, I'll read the players up on there. Sorry. So you've got Canate, you've got Virgil, and the guy I want is this guy, Levi Colwell.
Who does he play for?
He's on loan at Brighton now.
Oh,
and he's Chelsea.
Right.
And he's Chelsea in a team where they have just got so many defenders. And they've just signed a defender, Bashui. Is it Bashui?
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, so they've signed like 4 defenders this year. He ain't gonna get in. Like Fofana's there. They've got Chalobah. They like Chalobah as well. They always play him. They've still got Silva. He's just signed a new contract. They've got who's the guy they signed from Napoli? Who's the guy they signed from Napoli?
Oh,
Koulibaly. They've signed the Bachili from Monaco. It was like 30-odd million.
Badiashile, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They've got no room. They've got no room for defenders. And Colwell is ready to play. Like he's ready to play now. He's had 3 really good loans.
Okay.
Hang on. So yeah, he's my left-sided centre back, 100%.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day,
Bro, you're going all out. You're playing him like proper left mid, yeah. Like that's not even wing back, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, if we've got a left back and a right back who have both got record assists in the leagues, why don't we just play them higher up where they can get even more assists? like it just makes sense. Like they are so good at doing that. Then just have them higher up and just have more cover at the back. And these 3 guys here are the people that carry the pianos. mate. These are the guys that carry the pianos for me.
This is interesting. This is I want to see who you think you're going to get.
This is the one that you want to see.
And I'm also going to see if you're going to change all three of your midfielders.
So we could sign all of these players, by the way.
Wow, this is a midfield transformation.
We could sign all these players.
Okay, so you're basically just open heart surgery for your midfield, basically.
Has to be. We haven't got a midfielder for me that can be a first team midfielder next year.
Wow, all of them, you're just writing them all off.
Because we haven't got a midfield which support the cast.
But if you're making it out like that.
Like Robinson, Trent, Salah and Nunes are the stars. They're the ones that do all the work. They're the ones that produce the goals. They're the ones that produce the assists. They're the ones that create the play. They just do it. They do it day in, day out. That's what they do. And Musa, Ugarte and Kone are the piano carriers. They carry the piano and the others play the music.
Are they all young? Are they like under 25 or something?
Yeah. Musa's 20 years old. He's a USA international. He had a really good World Cup as well. Really good World Cup. I actually think he was better than McKennie and Tyler Adams. I think he was the one that shone more for me.
And how
Manu Ugarte is 21. He's a Uruguayan international, and he's got the best DM statistics in Europe this year.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays for Sporting.
Okay.
So he's another Portuguese starlet, which is going to come through. Okay. And then Manu Kone. I mean, we all know about Manu Kone. He's a French international. He plays for Leverkusen. He plays for Borussia Mönchengladbach. His stats are just off the scale, and he's just a monster.
And how old is he?
He's 21 as well. Wow.
So you've really gone in, man, because the way I look at it is that midfield, not only are they all three, it's like, I'm not saying those are the three you're going to play. You're saying these are the players that you want in to blend with your current players, because if you're going to have three players who are new to the league, they're all young, they don't have experience in the league, you're not basically saying they're going to be starting games, but these are the three you'd want to sign and then just use with the rest of the remaining midfielders.
Yeah,
okay. And I wouldn't want to rotate these three players with the other midfielders.
Yeah, I mean, I want to keep Stefan Bajcetic. I want to keep Thiago. I want to keep Fabinho. You know, I want to keep those players, and there will be rotation with those players. And I want to keep Stefan Bajcetic. Elliot, unfortunately, he's not gonna be in my midfield, like, because he's not a midfielder. So I'd probably sell Elliot. I'd probably sell him. Like,
really?
Yeah,
he's a young player. I don't think you're ready to sell him yet, if you ask me.
I'd keep Curtis Jones because he's rotation. You know, at the end of the day, we probably need 6 midfielders.
Do you know? Unless you think Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott's been a total flop, I can't see you lot selling him.
Elliott hasn't been a flop, but
I don't think you're selling him.
But Elliott can't do that job. Elliott can't do that job in midfield. He just can't. Like, you have to think about it as well. On that side where Trent is, you've got Konate, who's going to give him loads of support, yeah, and then you've got Kone that's going to give him loads of support. Like, you put Elliott there, he's too creative. He's too forward thinking. That's the reason why Mo Salah and Trent haven't had a great season in combination. Like, separately, they haven't been that bad, but the combination between them hasn't worked because Elliott's in the middle of it, and he's either too close to Salah, or he's too far away from Trent, and he kind of gets in the way. And when the ball goes through the midfield, he slows it down because he has to take a touch, he has to spin, he's looking for a pass. It's not the flow that's there, and the flow is normally Henderson or Ginny or Fab or Thiago. The flow's not there. It stops and it moves around a bit. He looks great on the ball. He looks great. He works hard. He's not made for our midfield.
Okay, fair enough.
It's an experiment which hasn't worked because we've played every single game with him apart from Chelsea away, and we haven't had a great season.
So you're just telling me,
and he's been in the team the whole time.
So basically, you're telling me that this is the way you play. You're not budging. You don't want to be flat. Let's not go into down once again. I don't want to go down the whole rabbit hole of tactics, but you're just saying this is the way we play. This is what works. If you don't fit to this system, then you're not going to be part of our squad. We're not going to be a team that we don't want to change our tactics to suit the players. The players have to suit our system. Is that what you're saying?
No, because we can still play 4-3-3. We've still got players to play 4-3-3. I'm not selling Gomez. And also Colwell can play a left back as well. He's flexible as a left back as well. Right. I still want to keep Ramsey because Ramsey's a good player, so we can still do 4-3-3. But for me, we need those defensive midfielders. We need those hard-working midfielders who've got legs, who've got pressing, who've got tackles, who've got youth as well. And they need to cover for Trent, because if we want Trent to work the way Trent works, we need to give him protection.
What about
he's not a right back anymore. Yeah,
it looks like he doesn't want to play there. It looks like he wants to play further up. Yeah. Since we're on the topic,
go on.
You lot have been linked with Mason Mount quite a bit.
I really like Mason Mount. Mason Mount could also fit in that team on the side where Musa is, because Musa's also attacking, so Musa can do a bit of both. And also on that side, that's where Thiago can play, and Thiago can actually play a little bit more forward thinking, because at the moment this season we're basically playing Thiago as David Batty. Thiago is not David Batty. Thiago shouldn't be running back tackling players. That's not his job. And he's too old to be doing that, and that's the reason why he's getting injured, because he's doing too much work. Thiago should be doing a Pirlo for us. You know what I mean? He should be just spraying the ball 60 yards, dictating the play, doing what Xavi did for and Iniesta did for Barcelona. He shouldn't be doing David Batty.
So those three midfielders, right? Do you know what their market values is like?
Yeah. So Musa's got a £25 million release clause, and he's playing for Valencia right now, so we could get him. Ugarte has got a big release clause. I think it's 50 million, maybe 60 million euros, and that's from Sporting. But every player's got a price in Portugal. We know that. Look at Enzo. No one ever thought Enzo would get sold, but he did. Because they just met the release price. So Ugarte's gettable for probably about 50 million, 60 million.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And Kone's price has just been dropped to 25 million.
So basically, what that looks to me is that basically, obviously, yeah, it's going to be flexible, but you're telling me that you don't fancy Diaz. Is that what you're saying?
So,
because I like Diaz as a player personally.
I like Diaz as a player as well.
He had a stop-and-start season of injuries, but I do like him as a player.
I like Diaz as a player as well, and Diaz could play where Robinson plays. He really could as a midfielder coming in.
Yeah, but you don't want him with any defensive duties. You just want
I don't see the evolution of this 4-3-3 anymore. I don't see that evolution. I don't see how that is going to continue and to work, because there's so many teams now that have found out. They've been found out. There's so many teams that are you just look at Man City now. Man City are now playing this formation where they've got four defenders, and then they take their centre back into midfield, and now they've got an extra midfielder. Well, there's nothing different than what I've done there, apart from you've got 5 midfielders. And how does Liverpool work? Liverpool works on the engine room being an engine and being able to win. And being able to win the ball and keep possession the whole game in that engine room. Well, you've got 3 players there that are going to work so hard, and the stats don't lie, that they win the ball. And they just quickly release it. That's all they got to do. Win it, release it, and then give it to Robinson, give it to Arnold. And I really think that Núñez is wasted on a wing. Like, I think Núñez could be such a good player straight up front. And I think with that position that I've got Salah, I wouldn't put him just there. I would kind of move him here. So he's a bit more flexible to come in and do his business here. If he's kind of sat right there, he's a bit isolated for me.
Well, he's going to drift anyway. He will drift.
He will drift
over the spaces.
And Robbo's going to be here like most of the game.
Man,
like,
do you know what?
Just know he is.
Do you know what? You're actually making me feel like playing FIFA, man, because Liverpool are actually one of my FIFA teams, to be honest. I with you lot. But
and Trent will come in. Like, Trent will do this. Like, and then you got Garthy's going to come back a bit more. Kone's going to move over here more.
Oh, mate.
And then you're going to have Trent coming in here. And this guy, wow, what a signing he is.
Mate, since we're on the topic, yeah, Núñez is good on FIFA, man. He's good on
FIFA. Look, Núñez right now is probably going to break the record at Liverpool for the most big chances missed in a season. He is absolutely atrocious.
The thing is, you've got options now. So obviously you've got Gakpo can play, Jota can play in. So you can drip. He can do a job out wide. I think he'll do okay next season. Now he'll score like 15 goals at least.
But we need this. This is vital. If we don't get this midfield sorted, it's going to be the same next year. And if he thinks that Elliott is going to be a solution, then he's just wrong.
Do you think Elliott will be in the squad next year? Do you think Klopp has that ruthlessness in him? Because obviously it's been quite documented that he's very loyal to players. Do you think he's ruthless enough to sell Harvey Elliott?
No,
he's not.
No, I think Elliott's still going to be around. I think Milner's going to get a new contract. I've not heard of anything about Matip going. Like, Matip needs to go. Like, Matip's like Bambi at the moment. Like,
so basically, what Keita and Fabinho you want out?
I can't trust him.
Keita, Fabinho, and Henderson you want them all out. Even Henderson.
Henderson can't go, mate. He's on 200 grand a week, and he's still got 2 years left on his contract.
Oh right, okay, yeah, he's not.
Henderson's toxic, mate. Like, Virgil van Dijk had a falling out with him. Ali had a falling out with him.
I saw that. Him and but they made up at the end of the game, though.
Yeah, but they've got to. But Henderson just he spends most of the game running around and shouting at players, just shouting at people. Like, you can't. I'm going to stop sharing now. By the way, sorry. Yeah. Okay. So you can't run around on a football pitch and shout at people on your team if they're better than you. You just can't do that. Like, I can't run up to you and go, "Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do that?" And you're like, "Hang on a minute, you're not really judging me, mate. You're the one who's playing shit."
Yeah, I get it.
And the thing about it as well is, players know if other players aren't better than them. Like, it's, and I've said this before. Like, I've said this before with Trent and Milner. Like, when Trent's being taken off and Milner's coming on, Trent must be coming off the pitch going, I'm the best right back in the world and have been for about 2 years. And you're bringing this lad on to replace me. Like, seriously. Like,
Nah.
at least sign someone who you're going to replace me with, who's actually going to, you know, give me some competition. You know,
I don't
put
think
me
they
on my
necessarily
toes.
look at it like that. It could be a game where he's tired and he has to come off. It could be something like that. Just don't
Trent
know.
plays way too much. He's been played way too much for someone at that age. The amount of miles that kid's done in his legs, like,
Yeah.
you know, he has been unbelievable for us. Klopp should have supported him more. You know, we should have
In
played
terms of
Gomez
getting
more.
cover, giving him a rest here and there.
Play Gomez more. Like, you know, Gomez is a decent right back. Gomez has got a good cross on him as well, by the way.
He's had a poor season.
I think he's had a poor season as a centre back, but I don't think he's played bad as a right back.
I remember that Napoli game.
Have you seen that? Frimpong.
Yeah.
Frimpong's a good player. Have you seen him?
No, I don't know much about him.
League.
I don't know much about him.
He's
I need to start watching more
Dutch international.
I need to start watching more German football, to be honest, because I heard there's a lot of good.
It's a weird one because, like, German players don't really come to the Premiership and, like, in the studies of the Premier League. I find that a weird one. Like, you'd think we'd probably get a few more German players. They all seem to, like, go to Italy, don't they, or Spain? They don't we don't really get that transition of loads of German players coming to England.
Yeah, we had Serge Gnabry at Arsenal one time.
No, but he came through the youth though.
Yeah.
He's keeping Mane out.
Yeah.
Do you hear about Mane?
Yeah, he punched Sane. Yeah, I was on to send you the article on WhatsApp. That was crazy, man. That's jokes, man. Next thing you're going to be hearing, I was joking with my mates on WhatsApp. Next thing you're going to be hearing that he fucking beats his wife. you get all the it's the people you least expect in it, with the whole nice guy image, the funny guy, the comedians. Do you remember there was that comedian? Les Dennis. Do you remember
Mane was a bastard. Like, Mane would leave one on someone. Like, he was nasty when he needed to be. I like Mane. I liked him.
Do you remember Dennis Bergkamp was like that? Do you remember he was sly with his elbows?
Yeah. Oh, do you remember that goal Dennis Bergkamp scored against Hughes?
Huh?
Do you remember that goal Dennis Bergkamp scored against Hughes?
Let's talk about something else, please. I just remember he being quite sly, checking if the ref's looking and just leaving a dirty one in on someone.
Can you imagine having a player that wouldn't fly anywhere?
Yeah, I heard about that.
He used to get a coach, didn't he? Like, to the European games, and he'd get there like two days earlier.
Yeah, quite a lot of people got fears of flying, to be fair. Yeah, man. But yeah, man, let's
mate, it's been great chatting to you, mate, and we'll do it again soon, okay?
Yeah, let's do it another time. Let's have some topics. I'll have a couple bullet points, agendas lined up for next time.
Love it.
Cool,
get some of your pals on as well if you want.
Yeah. I know a few other people that do other podcasts, and they do it like a few a week. So yeah, let's see if we can get in the.
Yeah, we can get on there.
I'll put it out there. Definitely.
Good. Well, it's been great having you, mate. And
yeah, all good, bro.
And to everyone that's tuned in, I really hope you enjoyed the show. Leave your comments and obviously subscribe and like. I haven't really said that during the show because I've not really thought about it. But yeah, everyone who's been in the chat and also subscribe to the channel, muchas gracias. And yeah, hopefully I can continue doing this and get more guests on. And it's great chatting to you, Seb. All right. See you later. And good luck for the rest of the season.
Cheers, bud. You too, man.
You too. See you later.
Have a good evening.
Bye. Anyway, that's the end of the show. I'm just going to do an hour and a half today, but I will start the show again. I'll probably do it in the next couple of days. This can get quite addictive, I've heard. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the show. It's just been a general chit chat about football, and I will have other topics and I will have other guests. And yeah, if you like and subscribe and leave any comments, which is great. And I'll see you next time.
Peace out.